And now for a closer look at tonight's primary races and how things are shaping up, we are joined now by our political analyst, political science professor Fernando Guerra with Loyola Marymount University, law expert on elections, Loyola law professor Jessica Levinson, and Jennifer Cryer, a political science professor at USC. Thank you all for being with us tonight. We'll start with you, Jennifer. In the 2018 primary, California voter turnout was 37%. We are looking at a very lower than average number this year. Why so? What is it, Jennifer?
Off-cycle elections typically bear these low turnout numbers, and right now we're seeing 4 in 5 Californians have not returned their absentee or vote by mail ballots just yet. And that's what we ought to expect in these off-cycle elections. They tend to favor the organized and the highly partisan. And so while this is much lower than usual for an off-cycle election, it definitely isn't unexpected, but it could bear some difficult outcomes for some of the candidates who might rely on the communities that aren't turning out.
I'll throw the other question to you, Fernando. What happened to Kevin De Leon? He was one of California's most powerful politicians as the leader of the Senate. He's only the major Latino candidate in this race. LA is nearly 50% Latino. What happened?
So, well, number one, the election isn't over. I don't think he's obviously going to be one of the top two, but I think he'll get in double digits. Latinos are 50% of the population, but only 35% of the voters. Their turnout rate will be a little bit lower, but turnout rate's going to be a little bit higher than people expect. The last time we had an open mayoral election, turnout was 23%. I predict, given the numbers that I've seen, it'll be way above that. The last time we had a gubernatorial election where the incumbent governor was running for re-election, that was Governor Brown in 2014, only 17% of voters turned out in LA County. We're going to have it much higher than that. So it's not going to be record-breaking, but it also is not going to be a historic low. That should bode well for Kevin, but not enough to put him in the top two.
Jessica, how do you think redistricting or redrawing of congressional district lines has changed the landscape of some of these races tonight?
Well, I think, in fact, not that much, in part because we've seen a few cycles where we've had this independent redistricting commission, in part because there's only so much an independent redistricting commission can do to make some districts more competitive, because people of like minds tend to live together. In part because that's not what the Independent Redistricting Commission was actually charged with doing, making districts more competitive. But we do see it, I think, actually with respect to the mayor's race. We have Karen Bass, who I think was looking at her future district and made a decision for a number of reasons that instead of defending a district in, I think, what was going to be a more difficult race, decided instead that she was going to run for mayor. We'll see tonight whether or not that's a calculation that paid off.
Jennifer, my next question is for you. With Rick Caruso, the candidate for mayor, spending $40 million of his own money, what are the implications of this going into November, into future races? Does it prove that it doesn't matter what party you're in? I mean, you know, obviously California Democrats outnumber Republicans 2-1, but when you have that much money, does it matter?
Yeah, the research shows that by and large, incumbency, name recognition, and money are the things that really push a candidate over the line. And right now we're seeing a race where 2 of those findings are going head to head. We have Karen Bass, who has established name recognition, and Caruso has leveraged his own resources. And so typically we would expect that these things sort of intermingle, but this is going to be a great test case to see if all it takes now is a set amount of resources separate from party and separate from some of the networks that parties bring to the table. I think it's going to be very interesting to see and could foment a rise in candidates who want to take this approach.
Fernando, Republicans have not won a statewide race since 2006, as Governor Schwarzenegger did. Could this be the year for Republicans?
Not likely. I don't think they're competitive in any statewide election. People talk about the state controller, but that Republican that's running will come in first in the primary because there's many Democrats running. But once a Democrat is on the ballot against him in November, he or she will beat him, and I believe handedly, because it's just not a high profile, and Democrats are just going to vote for that Democrat nominee. So I do not expect any Republicans to be elected statewide at all.
I mean, even without the clear favorite Democrat in that state controller's race, Fernando?
That's right. So it's a vacancy. It's the only statewide election right now where there's a vacancy. Betty Yee was termed out. But again, the guy that is running, well known amongst academics and others, but the voters don't know him, and he's not going to have the money. He'll be lucky to spend $3 million statewide. And we just talked about Karen Bass only spending $3 million for the entire city. And so I doubt very much that he'll be able to get his message out. And if people don't know, they say, who do I support, a Democrat or Republican? Those are the cues that they depend on, and that Democrat's going to win, and I predict handedly.
All right. Thank you to Fernando, Jennifer, and Jessica. We will check in with you a little bit later on this newscast.